This is the story of a group of princesses whose room remained mysteriously locked every night. And yet, each morning their shoes were found worn out, full of holes, as if they had been dancing all night. No one knew how or why this was happening. The king was deeply troubled by the strange phenomenon and desperately wanted to uncover the truth. Many princes came forward, determined to solve the mystery in hopes of winning the kingdom. But none ever returned. But what was this kingdom? And why did everyone who came close to discovering it never survive? As the story begins, we see a man named Anton who witnesses something unusual. He sees the princesses getting ready late at night, as if preparing for a journey. Then they all hold each other's hands. And in that very moment, a bright light fills the room, revealing a hidden door to another world. The door opens, and one by one, the princesses vanish into it. Amazed and curious, Anton secretly follows them into this other world. What he sees leaves him speechless. The sisters step into elegant boats that glide silently forward across a snowy, dreamlike landscape. Anton watches in awe as everything around him begins to move and transform. A surreal world unlike anything he has known. Before he can fully grasp what's happening, a strange force pulls him into unconsciousness. When he finally opens his eyes, he finds himself back in his bed, as if it had all been a dream. In the next scene, we are taken to the palace of a sorrowful king. His wife had passed away 10 years ago, but even after a decade, he hadn't been able to let her go. Every morning, the grief-stricken king would sit alone and cry out her name, his wails echoing through the castle halls. His sorrow was so piercing that the sound of his mourning could be heard outside the palace walls, forcing people to cover their ears as they passed by. The king had 12 daughters, all now grown into young women. Concerned that they might fall into temptation during these youthful years, the king had kept them in a separate palace, away from distractions. One morning, Hoff arrived early as usual, checking the rooms of the princesses. The daughters, annoyed by his daily visits, mocked him. Upon seeing him in the palace so early, they laughed and teased. "Are you the king's special servant, or just a rooster sent to wake us up?" Ignoring their sarcasm, Hoff carried out his inspection and soon noticed something strange. The soles of Amanda's shoes, the eldest daughter, were worn through. In fact, the same was true for all the princesses. Hoff frowned. "Why are there holes in your shoes again? I replace the soles every day, but by morning they're torn. Do you go somewhere at night?" Before any answer came, they heard the sound of the king crying. The sisters looked at each other and whispered, "Father will keep mourning mother like this until the day he dies." That wailing sound reached a man sitting far from the palace, Anton, the same man from the opening scene. He was poor and survived by traveling from village to village, performing puppet shows for children. With the small money he earned, he managed to live a simple life. Back in the palace, Hoff went to report to the king. "Your Majesty, I still haven't discovered why your daughters wake late and why their shoes are torn every morning. The cobbler puts in new soles daily, yet they're always worn through by the next day." The king's face grew tense. "Are they sneaking out of the palace?" Hoff quickly answered, "Impossible, Your Majesty. The palace gate is locked and guarded at all times." The king pressed further. "Then is someone entering the palace to meet them?" "I've searched thoroughly," Hoff replied. "There's no sign of any visitor, and your daughters refuse to say anything." Sighing heavily, the king admitted, "I'm growing old, and I have no son to inherit my throne. If I could find suitable matches for my daughters, I would gladly make one of their husbands the next king." Hoff, hearing this, saw his chance. He'd always had feelings for Amanda, the eldest. "Whoever discovers the truth about my daughter's nightly secret," the king said, "will marry one of them and rule this kingdom." But the condition was strict. Those who failed to uncover the mystery within a week would be hanged. Many princes had tried and died, and the fear of death now kept others away. The king sighed. "If no one marries my daughters, I'll die without leaving a successor. What will happen to them?" Greed and ambition stirred in Hoff's heart. "If I solve this mystery, I'll marry Amanda and become king," he thought. Aloud, he said, "Don't worry, Your Majesty. I'll find out the truth soon." Meanwhile, Anton wandered through the market, puppet in hand, talking to it as if it were a friend. On the way, he noticed a black cat. He stopped, said something to his puppet, and looked again, only to see an old woman standing there instead, struggling to lift a bundle of wood. Anton blinked in surprise. "Wasn't there a cat here just now? How did you appear in its place?" The old woman, scolding him playfully, replied, "An old woman is struggling right in front of you, and you're busy chatting with your puppet? Can't you help me carry this?" Anton obliged. Elsewhere, the king visited his daughters and asked, "The palace gates are locked and soldiers guard them night and day. Then how do your shoes get ruined by morning? Why do you rise so late? Is there a hidden way you're using to sneak out?" His daughters responded coldly, "We don't know anything. Maybe rats are chewing on our shoes." The king, growing angry, said, "Don't insult my intelligence. The same rats chew all your shoes except Amanda's. And they do it the same way every night? Do you go somewhere? Are you doing something I don't know about?" His daughters retorted bitterly, "Ever since Mother died, you've ignored us. Still mourning her, you've placed restrictions on us all our lives." The king, frustrated, simply said, "I know what I need to do." Hoff, now obsessed with uncovering the mystery, began checking the sisters' rooms again. He searched every corner, hoping to find evidence. In Amanda's room, he found her dupatta. He placed it on his head and, obsessed with her, even applied her lipstick, smiling foolishly at his reflection. Meanwhile, Anton, still carrying the bundle, passed near the palace. The old woman pulled gently on a curtain hanging from the princess's window and pointed toward Hoff, who was inside. Back inside, Hoff noticed something strange, a long curtain tied tightly to the window frame. Suspicion filled his mind. Could the princesses be using this curtain to climb out at night? To uncover the truth, Hoff climbs out the palace window and tries to hang down using the curtain. But the curtain doesn't reach the ground, and he gets stuck halfway. Beneath him lies a pile of hay. Seeing no other option, Hoff jumps down to save his life. But hidden within the hay is a sharp object that pierces his back, causing him to scream in pain. Meanwhile, Anton carries an old woman and her bundle of wood on his back to the market. The old woman, touched by his selflessness, tells him, "You helped me without expecting anything in return. One day you will be rewarded for this." Anton replies calmly, "I don't think about the past or the future. I just live in the present." As he finishes his words, he notices something strange. The old woman is no longer there. Instead, a black cat stands before him. Anton is stunned. Back in the palace, the tailor puts new shoes into the rooms of the king's daughters. Hoff also arrives, walking barefoot. When the princesses question him, he dodges their inquiries. Soon after, the king appears. He tasks Hoff with finding a prince or a brave man who can stay in the palace and uncover what the princesses do every night. Why their shoes are mysteriously worn out by morning. Amanda and her sisters protest, saying the king has already taken many lives trying to solve this mystery. If the secret is not discovered within 7 days, the person is executed. The king insists he will give this one final chance. If no one succeeds this time, he will abandon the search forever. He orders Hoff to find someone immediately. Out in the street, Anton performs a puppet show for children, hoping to earn a few coins. The children laugh, but run off without paying. A man gives Anton a wooden coin. Useless, but Anton smiles nonetheless. From a palace balcony, Hoff observes the entire scene. Later, Hoff approaches Anton, gives him a gold coin, and offers him a chance to become king and marry one of the princesses. Anton, intrigued, asks what he has to do. Hoff explains the task. Stay in the palace and find out the daughter's secret. Anton hesitates. Many brave men and princes have died. If I fail, I'll be hanged too. I can't do this. But just then, Anton sees Amanda in the palace window. Their eyes meet. Something stirs in both of them. Love, unexpected and silent. Moved by this feeling, Anton agrees to the task. Soon after, the old woman appears once more. Recognizing her, Anton asks, "Are you that magical cat?" She smiles and says yes. Wanting to help him, she gives him a magical coat and cap. Wear these and you'll become invisible. Use this to uncover the secret, she says. She also warns him. At night, the princesses will offer you wine. Pretend to drink it. Never actually consume it. She transforms back into a cat and disappears. Hoff brings Anton to the king. The king scoffs. Couldn't you find a real prince? You brought a puppeteer. But Hoff defends him. No one else is willing. Anton is honest. Amanda and her sisters come to see Anton. Amanda and Anton exchange another meaningful look. Though the king doubts Anton, Anton entertains them with his puppets. The daughters laugh. Amanda is charmed. That night, Anton is given a room. The princesses watch him through a peephole. One sister prepares wine mixed with sleeping powder. Amanda brings the glass herself, calling it the best wine in the world. Remembering the old woman's warning, Anton pretends to drink. Amanda lingers, waiting to see if he falls asleep. Just then, another sister calls Amanda away. Taking his chance, Anton pours the wine into a hole and places the empty glass near his lips. Amanda, seeing this, assumes he drank it. As she leaves, Anton wears the magical coat and vanishes. Invisible, Anton sneaks into the princess's chamber. A glowing doorway appears. He follows them through it and finds himself in a snowy, magical land. As he trails behind, his coat snags on a tree branch. He pulls it free, snapping the branch, which causes a slight tremor. He pockets the branch. Ahead, one sister urges the others. Let's hurry. Our princes are waiting. The next morning, Hoff questions Anton. Did you discover anything? Anton replies with a simple no. Meanwhile, Amanda confides in her sisters. Anton risked his life. Maybe he loves one of us. Her sisters wonder the same. Later, Anton finds the executioner preparing a gallows. He offers to help, unaware it's being built for him. The executioner laughs grimly. This is for you. 6 days left. But Anton stays fearless. If we must die someday, we might as well live fully while we can. Amanda overhears and is astonished by his courage. Hoff sees them talking and grows jealous but stays quiet. Later, at a palace celebration, Anton dances with Amanda. Though she claims not to know how to dance, he takes her hand. Her sisters join in the dancing too. That night, Amanda again brings wine laced with sleeping pills. Anton, as before, pretends to drink and sleep. Once she leaves, he follows them invisibly through the glowing doorway once again. This time, he sees them board boats sailing across the snowy realm. 11 princes await the 11 sisters. They begin dancing joyfully. Amanda, however, stands alone. Seeing her, Anton dances with her, though invisible. She doesn't know who she's dancing with, but she smiles. Suddenly, the scene dissolves. Anton awakens in the real world, standing before the king, a noose around his neck. Have you discovered the secret? The king asks. Anton shakes his head. The executioner steps forward. Amanda and her sisters look heartbroken. At the last moment, Anton speaks. I do know the secret, but if I tell you, your daughters will be upset. The king demands proof. Anton pulls out the dagger from the magical world, the same one that pierced Hoff's back. The king recognizes it. You've been to the other world, he says in shock. According to the rules, that means you've uncovered the truth. The executioner protests. He never told you the secret. But the king replies, the condition was to find out the secret, not to reveal it. He declares Anton the next king and announces his marriage to Amanda. Anton and Amanda had fallen deeply in love with each other. One night, as they kissed, something magical happened. The ancient curse broke. In that very moment, the other 11 princes, who had been trapped in the magical world for so long, returned to the real world. Each of them was joyfully reunited with the princess he had once loved. It was then revealed that long ago, the king's 11 daughters and their princely lovers had made fun of an old woman, who, unknown to them, was no ordinary woman but a powerful enchantress. In her pain and anger, she had cast a curse. The princes would vanish into the magical realm. and her spell would only be broken if someone helped the princesses selflessly without telling anyone, and truly fell in love with one of them. The final key was sealed in a kiss born out of genuine love. Anton, who had risked his life, asked for nothing in return, and had truly loved Amanda, had unknowingly fulfilled every condition of the enchantress's spell. The king, overjoyed at the return of his daughter's beloveds and touched by Anton's honesty and courage, arranged the weddings of all 11 princesses with their respective princes. And as a reward for breaking the curse and discovering the secret that no one else could, Anton was crowned the new king. Amanda, now his queen, stood proudly by his side. And so, with hearts united and justice restored, the tale came to a joyful and magical ending. Thank you for watching.